The Classic TV channel is your happy trails to golden oldies television from the 1940s through the formative years of the 1950s and 60s. Enjoy restored TV shows Mickey Rooney Show, Groucho Marx, Trouble with Father, Terry and the Pirates, One Step Beyond, Beverly Hillbillies, Bonanza, The Lucy Show, Dick Van Dyke, Annie Oakley, Ozzie and Harriet, The Howdy Doody Show, and many, many more. Binge your night away. So return with us now to those golden days of yesteryear.
The Roy Rogers Show. King of the Cowboys. Trigger, his golden Palomino, and Dale Evans, Queen of the West, with Pat Brady, their comical sidekick, and Roy's wonder dog, Bullet.
Turn to go, so let's get started with today's story. Roy Rogers, we're coming in.
What's that for?
Listen, this feller's a Kentucky mountaineer, and where he comes from, you shout your name to prove you're visiting, not feuding.
Morning, Miss Dale. Howdy, Roy.
Hi, Cliff.
Howdy, Cliff.
You both a mighty welcome sight.
We heard your storehouse burned down and we brought you some supplies.
Well, that's mighty kind of you. But I don't want to be beholden to you.
Out here in the West, we just call it being neighborly.
Well, it ain't the way Roger Wilson feels. He acts like he's feuding with me. He wants to buy my ranch, and he don't take kindly to my refusing to sell.
I wonder if Roger could have started that fire.
Wouldn't put it past you.
Come on, Bullet.
Well, it's mighty nice of you folks to do this. I'll take that from you, Miss Dale.
Okay.
How'd the fire start, Cliff?
I don't rightly know, Roy. Might have been caused by some kind of fermenting in the corn, like the fire we had when Grandpappy's still blew up. Or it might be just a piece of the misfortune that's been hounding me lately.
Let's hope your luck gets better from now on, Cliff.
I thank you kindly. Could be his cousin Zeke will help break the spell. He's on his way from Kentucky to stay with me. Best shot in Harlem County, Zeke is. Why, him and Sooty May can bark a squirrel at 100 yards.
Who's Sooty May?
Sooty May's Zeke's old squirrel gun.
Hank, how about showing me the storehouse? Maybe I can figure out what caused the fire.
With pleasure, you, sir. I'll be glad to.
Look after him, Dale.
All right.
To get that prescription filled.
Well, that's all right. Dr. Harper said he'd stay with Cliff till we got back.
Well, while we're waiting, we better report to the sheriff.
Which reminds me, who is the new sheriff?
I haven't heard, but Hank Fisher's sure to be reelected.
Yeah. Boy, look!
Don't worry about that. It's probably just a gag some of the boys have thought of. Pat wouldn't want to be sheriff.
Well, I should think not.
Bullet! It's me, Pat Brady! Roy, tell this critter who I am. Down, Bullet.
What in the world's been going on in here?
You two just missed a bang-up party. Well, this here place was overflowing with well-wishers to shower me with presents. Bill Lewis gave me this here caribou.
Pat, Do you mean to say you're the new sheriff?
It can't be. Surprised you, huh? Well, just cast your eyes on this here star. Pat Brady, Sheriff of Martin County, that's me.
Thought you said this was a gang.
It was. At least it started out to be.
Well, when the voters realized my sterling qualities, they turned out in droves to elect me. And I'm going to show them that they're doggone dead right. Why, before I'm through, I'll have every owl hoot in the county locked up in these here cells.
Well, Sheriff, you can start right now by catching the one who gunned down Cliff Miller.
You darn tootin' I will. Huh?
Yes, someone just shot Cliff Miller, and we came in to report it, Sheriff.
Already? Well, I've just been sworn in.
Come along, Sheriff. We have work to do. You know, this might shorten your term in office. Dale, will you see that Doc Harper gets that prescription?
I sure will, Roy.
Roy, this is too sudden-like. You can't do this to me. I ain't even had time to warm up my chair.
You can warm up your saddle while we pick up that gunslinger's trail.
There'll be no saddle warming for Sheriff Patrick Aloysius Brady. Take a look at my Nellybelle. The best equipped patrol car in the whole dadgum county. Big old powerful spotlight and a real siren and a two-way radio for police calls.
Shall we dance, Aloysius?
Police calls, huh? Come on, Sheriff. Sink your spurs into that patrol car of yours. Let's get started.
No use following a trail that keeps petering out on us.
Well, Pat, it's getting plainer all the time. We should be catching up with our man pretty soon.
We should? I'm going to go get me a posse.
You don't need a posse.
A sheriff's got to have a posse at his back. And you're leaving mine exposed.
Now, take it easy, Pat. All we're going to do is pay a visit to Roger Wilson.
Oh, is that all?
Why, sure. The trail we're following leads right to his door.
Oh, well, that's different.
Very sorry to hear about Cliff Miller, but I don't know why he's coming to me. I've been in town all morning with my lawyer. Just got back a half hour ago.
If you were in town all morning, Wilson, how come your horse was over at Cliff's?
Why, I stopped there on the way home. Wanted to talk to him about buying his ranch. But I saw Doc Harper's buggy there, and I thought Miller was sick, and I didn't go in.
Oh, well, looks like we've been following the wrong tree and started up the wrong trail, doesn't it?
Oh, I want you to meet my new foreman, Joe Slade. Roy Rogers and Pat Brady.
How do you do?
Sheriff Pat Brady. Hear about the election? Regular landslide, liable to bury you.
Come along, Sheriff. Sorry to have bothered you, Mr. Wilson.
No bother at all. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you.
Thanks.
Hi, Bullet. Hey, Bullet, leave me alone. Roy, tell him leave me alone. I'm bored.
You just take it easy. How's Cliff?
He's delirious. The doctor's given him a sedative.
Well, I guess we can't question him then.
You know, in his delirium, he's kept muttering, Roger, Roger. Do you suppose he wants to tell you something?
He must have meant Roger Wilson.
That's right, because Cliff always calls Roy Roy.
We better ride into town and check Wilson's alibi.
You took the words right out of my mind.
Bullet, you better stay here and look after Dale. If you need me, I'll be in Sheriff Pat Brady's office.
Yeah, we'll be in Sheriff Pat Brady. Hey, that's me!
Howdy, stranger. Hi. I'm looking peaceable like for Cliff Miller's place. Does he live around these parts?
Straight on down that road. First house on the left. You can't miss it.
Much obliged.
Howdy. You must be Cousin Zeke.
Revenuer.
Revenuer? Revenuer?
Well, hi, Dale. What are you doing here?
Dr. Harper brought Cliff into the hospital. He said he'd let you know as soon as he's able to talk. What'd you find out about Roger Wilson?
Yeah, he was with his lawyer, just like he said. What do you know about Wilson?
Nothing much, except he used to live in Gainesville.
Gainesville, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Hello, operator. Get me the sheriff in Gainesville, will you, please?
Hey, stranger. I'd be obliged if you could tell me a thing. I'm looking for a man named Roger.
Oh, you must mean Roy Rogers. He's over at my office. You see, I'm sheriff of this county. Just been elected. Regular landslide. Wasn't but 2 votes.
Revenuer.
Well, that's just where I thought I'd find you. Flat on your face. You mind your own business, Hank Fisher. You're just sore because you weren't re-elected sheriff, that's all.
Thanks, Sheriff. Thanks a lot. He says he never heard of a Roger Wilson. That nobody but that name ever lived in Gainesville.
Well, that's funny. He told me himself right in the restaurant.
Find out anything, Pat?
Yeah. Wilson paid $2,000 down on his ranch, and if he doesn't keep up the payments, he's liable to lose it.
Is that all?
Well, what do you expect to find in them courthouse records? A history of his life? Now, if he'd have been arrested, we might have something, but he ain't.
I'm not so sure. Anybody who lies about where he lives must have something to hide.
Maybe his real name isn't Wilson.
Well, in that case, you'll have to go through every last one of them records and pictures.
You better find Hank Fisher and see if he knows anything about Wilson.
I'll be doggone if I ask that hard-headed Jasper anything, even if it saved me from gasping my last gasp. Besides, I gotta read this here report. It's mighty important.
Sheriff, you're reading it upside down.
Do you think it's easy? Someone's gunning for the new sheriff. You better get Hank Fisher.
Who was that?
That's just the fella that dragged those clips. Dick Miller. Well, what's he shooting at you for?
That's what I'd like to know.
Roger. That's it, Roger.
What do you mean?
Don't you remember how Cliff kept muttering Roger? Well, Dr. Harper told that to Zeke.
And Zeke asked me if I knew where he could find a fella named Roger. Only I thought he meant you.
My pal. Now I'll have to explain to him that he's got the wrong man.
Zeke Miller!
I think you'd better explain to Sudie Mae.
She doesn't sound as though she'd listen to reason either.
Pat, you're the sheriff, and it's your duty to get out there and talk to Zeke.
Uh-huh. He thinks I'm a revenuer, and that's the same as just plain poison.
But remember, you're the sheriff.
Not me. I resign. Here's my badge. You can be sheriff. Anybody can be sheriff. I'm too young to be cut down in my prime.
You wanted to be sheriff, and you're going to stay sheriff, so put that badge back on.
All right, Aloysius, I'll go.
No, you don't. You stick your head out there, and it'll be blown off.
You didn't seem to care about my head.
You don't use it anyway. Now listen, keep opening and closing this door to attract Zeke's attention. I'll go out the back way and see if I can slip up on him.
Okay, Fearless, at your post.
Maybe I better get a rope. This might be safer, huh? matter with you? Can't you keep the peace around here? Oh, I can if I want to, but right now I don't want it. So, they elected a scared rabbit for a sheriff, huh? Who's a scared rabbit? Why?
Let go of him!
Take that. Let go of him! Oh, you're not satisfied, huh?
Wait a minute.
Here,
Oh, quit!
Cousin Cliff wasn't meaning you, Mr. Rogers. Pleasure me to know just who he did mean.
Well, that's easy. He was just meaning.
Just talking when he was delirious. Right now, we can't tell who he did mean.
Then that leaves only you. So until I find out different, I'm giving you fair warning.
Why, you dim-witted Kentucky mule, you ain't got no more...
Me and Sudie Mae don't take kindly to being called names, especially by a revenuer.
Well, I didn't mean it. I was just fooling, wasn't I, Roy?
Out here, Zeke, it isn't what a man says, it's how he says it.
Where I come from, a man speaks what's in his mind, and his feelings goes into the words.
Just a minute, Zeke. Let me explain.
Hello. Yeah, Dale. Okay. Roy, Dale says you can see Cliff Miller now.
Come along, Zeke. You can find out the truth for yourself.
I wouldn't stay much longer, folks.
All right, Doc.
Boy, he's the best friend I got, Cousin Zeke, along with Miss Dale and the sheriff.
What'd we tell you?
Looks like I made a mistake, Mr. Rogers, and I'm admitting it free and open.
Anybody can make a mistake, Zeke.
I'll shake on that.
I don't hold no truck with revenuers.
Cliff, did you recognize who shot at you?
I didn't rightly see nothing except a figure rising up out of the bushes.
Could it have been Roger Wilson?
Well, it's like I told you. He's been wanting to buy my land, and I suspect him of digging them holes up near the boundary fence.
What kind of holes?
Oh, like someone was looking for something he'd buried and almighty eager to find it.
That might account for that map I saw on Wilson's desk. It had some cross marks along the boundary line. Dale, will you see if you can get in touch with Hank Frazier to bring him over to the sheriff's office?
They don't know nothing that I don't know.
Hey, Pat, take a look at this. Joe Slade, bank robber.
Well, that's Wilson's new foreman.
Hello, Roy.
Hi, Hank.
Dale said you wanted to see me.
Yeah, do you know of any bank robbery around here in which the loot was never recovered?
Sure. The Western Bank. A couple of stick-up men got about $50,000. One of them, Joe Slade's doing time right now.
That's how much you know about it. Slade is working at Wilson's ranch as foreman.
All right, Smarty, I'll call the warden and find out.
Just a cotton-picking minute. Who's wearing this badge? Hello? Give me the warden at the penitentiary.
Hey, Hank, do you have any description of Joe Slade's partner?
Sure. He's done time, too.
Hello, warden. This is Sheriff Pat Brady of Martin County. Yeah. Have you got a feller boarding there with you by the name of Joe Slade?
There you are. Slade's partner's name is Corey Wendell.
Well, this is Roger Wilson without the mustache.
Okay, warden. I'll do as much for you someday. Roy, the warden says Joe Slade's out on parole.
Hi, Dale.
Hi.
We just found out that Slade and Wilson are ex-convicts. We're going to ride out to Cliff's ranch and take a look at those diggings he told us about.
Good.
Me too.
Hold on, Hank. Now, wait a minute. You're not coming along. Get out of my way. I can handle this myself. Get out of my way, you. Here, where you going with that? This is my picture, and I'm taking it home, so there.
Zeke, you better ride with Sheriff Brady.
Glad I ain't got no kinfolk here to see me riding with a revenue.
Wilson must have really been annoyed when he found the ranch he bought didn't include the buried gold.
It isn't buried anymore. They've got it. You can see the marks where the box was. Hey, where's Zeke?
Well, he was here.
Where could he have gone?
I'm afraid I know.
Get in there, you long-legged sharpo.
Who's he?
Says he's Zeke Miller. He was drawing a bead on you through the window when I nailed him.
You shot my cousin Cliff.
I didn't. He did. Tie him up, Joe.
Get in the chair.
Dale, you know what to do now.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Dale, you're supposed to protect me.
Don't worry. You just keep Wilson talking until Roy can get inside.
Hey, Wilson!
The sheriff.
Hey, Wilson! Come on out. I want to talk to you.
Looks like he's alone.
Take that money out the back way while I see what the fool wants. Okay, Brady, what is it?
You got Zeke Miller in there, and if you let him go, I'll let you go. Is it a bargain?
Okay, Sheriff, come on in and get him. He's all yours.
Mighty beholden to you, Miss Dale.
Thanks, Zeke.
Well, I kind of figured that this was my fault too, Mr. Rogers.
I think you got something there. Dale, you take this money on into the bank, please? We'll bring these jailbirds in and put them where they belong.
Right, Roy.
Get Nellybelle.
Yeah. Where are you taking me?
Taking them to jail.
No, you ain't. Not as long as me and Susie May's got anything to say about it. Now, you'll just step aside, Mr. Rogers. I won't give these varmints a chance to get away again.
Don't do it, Zeke.
It'd be murder.
No, it ain't. Like the good book says, it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Stop him,
I
Rogers.
can do that.
What's that? Church bells. It's Sunday, Zeke.
Can't do it. Just can't do it. Begin the good book to kill a body on Sunday.
No, sir. I ain't had over 2 hours sleep since I took over this job. And I decided I don't want to be sheriff anymore, so I resign.
Now, wait a minute, Pat. You can't resign. I came here to take back everything I said about you. Why, you're a real sheriff.
Never you mind what I am. I'm giving you back your 2 votes and your badge. I didn't want to be sheriff. I just want to show these folks how this office ought to be run. Why, inside of a few weeks, I could have cleaned out this whole county, alone and single-handed. Outlaws! There! Oh, oh. Nellybelle! Nellybelle, come back, you coward!
Pat, you really need a posse behind you now.
How's that, Roy?
Look and see.
Show, starring Roy Rogers, King of the Cowboys, Trigger, his golden Palomino, and Dale Evans, Queen of the West, with Pat Brady, his comical sidekick, and Roy's wonder dog, Bullet.
Next time you come in, kid, you better knock, or you might get a bullet in you.
I was just going to tell you, Mr. Eggers, the gang's coming. They're bringing Fred King. He's wounded.
Wounded?
Quit hanging on to him. I ain't hanging on to you. I'm helping.
Jerry, get some water and clean towels for bandages.
Yes, sir.
Be careful now. You ain't branded no cow.
What did you run into?
Roy Rogers.
Rogers?
I went out to get him and ran into a hail of lead.
Oh, why, you fool, I ought to kill you. I told you not to tangle with Rogers. You'll have every lawman and cowpoke in this country on our neck.
Oh, what'd you expect us to do? Just keep playing hide and seek with that guy? You realize that 2 banks, 5 express offices, and 2 gold mines in this county just trying to be held up, and all we can do is just keep one jump ahead of him?
They say he leads a charmed life. I don't believe it. I've heard he's faster than forked lightning. I believe that.
There must be some way to get rid of Rogers.
I'll get rid of him for you, Mr. Edgar.
You?
Sure, why not?
You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
You want to try me?
You ain't never been on a stick-up, let alone a shooting. No, you'd give up right away.
I would not. Just because you guys are yellow is no sign I am.
Why, you little punk ought to tan your hide. Call me yellow, will you? Take his gun belt and play it.
Let me go. Stop airing your lungs, all of you. The kid's right. He's as good a gunman as any of you. I've been teaching him myself, haven't I, kid?
You sure have, Mr. Edgar.
All he needs is experience, and this'll give him a chance to get it.
But he's nearsighted.
He can shoot all right when he's close up. And I've got a plan that'll have him rubbing elbows with Rogers.
Judging from these tracks, I'd say that Fred King met up with 3 riders here.
Probably the rest of the Edgar gang.
Well, let's get after him. I'm ready to roll.
If you're going to go with us, you better leave this thing here because we're heading into the hills.
She ain't no thing. Besides that, Nellybelle can go any place you can go. You ought to know that.
Sign of him yet.
All right, keep a sharp lookout. Now remember, Jerry, you won't get a second chance at Rogers, so make sure you're close enough to get him before you start shooting.
You just leave Rogers to me, Mr. Edgar.
You do this job all right, kid, and I'll cut you in the same as the rest of the boys.
Here comes Rogers.
All right, Jerry, get going. And remember, you're supposed to be getting away from us. Keep far enough back, men, so they won't recognize us.
like somebody's being elected to Boot Hill. Now let's see who they were chasing. What's the trouble, son?
I don't know, but thanks a lot. If you folks hadn't come along, I'd have been a goner.
Who were those fellas shooting at you?
Why were they shooting at you?
I wish I knew. All I did was ride up to a cabin looking for work, and those guys started throwing lead at me.
Had you ever seen them before?
No, ma'am. And I ain't yearning to see 'em again. Especially that one that reverse draws.
Reverse draw? That must be Colt Eggers. Listen, Dale, get to the nearest phone and call the sheriff. Tell him I'm on the trail of the Edgar gang and to set up roadblocks pronto.
Right. Where'll I meet you?
Better make it your ranch. It's the closest. Take Bullet with you.
Right. Come on, Bullet.
Oh, by the way, what's your name?
Jerry King.
I'm Roy Rogers, Jerry. This is Pat Brady.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you think you could find that cabin again?
The cabin? Well, I don't know.
Well, don't you worry about a thing, Jerry. Them fellows ain't gonna be shooting at you again, not with Roy and me along to protect you.
I think we better take a look for that cabin.
Hey, Roy. You ain't gonna ride straight up to the front door, are you? Shouldn't we kind of sneak up on them?
All right, Pat, but you two stay here.
I'll go over there and keep Rogers covered.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, it is, ain't it? But maybe I shouldn't be standing here all by my lonesome. Jerry! Ain't you got no better sense than to shoot before Roy gives a signal?
My gun. Where's my gun?
I don't know. Where'd it go?
It's down there in that hole.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, Fred Kane, let's go.
Rogers, you've been heading me long enough. You ain't gonna take me in. I'm not going to. Get over there. Give me my pants. Some staring get me around this place. Now be calm. I'll get it for you. Oh, give me that. Quit it. Who's doing this? I lost it for you, didn't I? By gum, I'm gonna get it back.
Let's go, Kane. You've given us all the trouble you're gonna.
Don't worry, Colt will take care of you.
Move it to the left.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, quit jerking at it. Okay. Okay, now lower it.
This is the doggonest deepest hole I ever did see.
Kind of dry fishing, isn't it?
Oh, well, you see, Jerry lost his gun down his hole. It was my fault. I jumped him thinking he was going to shoot before you got up to the hideout.
But I was only trying to cover you, Mr. Rogers.
Thanks. Forget about the gun, Pat. We'll have to get back to town. We'll leave Jerry at Dale's ranch on the way.
But my gun. I gotta have my gun.
And I have to get a prisoner to jail. I found Fred Kane. Come on.
Miss Dale, well, what do you suppose could be keeping Mr. Rogers and Pat in town? They've been gone a long time.
Well, it takes quite a while to charge a prisoner and make out a report, Jerry.
I was just thinking maybe they got some new dope on the Edgar gang.
Oh, you don't have to worry about the Edgar gang. You're safe here.
What makes you think I'm worried about them?
Well, you're the only one that can identify them. That makes you their #1 target.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, doggone it. I'll bet that service station guy didn't put no water in Nellybelle at all. I've never seen her so head up in all my life. By the way, which reminds me, what were you doing in the sheriff's office so long?
Checking on Jerry King.
On Jerry? Well, you don't suspect him of anything, do you?
I suspected Colt Eggers of using him. I guess I was wrong. The sheriff never heard of Jerry. He has no criminal record.
Boy, I'm glad, because I laid out real dough to buy him a present.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, Dale.
Hi.
Oh, Jerry, seeing as how I lost your gun for you, I brought you another. Boy, that's the best there is. You can't miss with that one.
Say, that's thoughtful of you, Pat, isn't it, Jerry?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Well, that's gratitude for you.
Well, he probably never got a present before. Just embarrassed him a little, maybe.
I go in and pick out that gun like I was buying myself a diamond. And then he goes, never got a present before.
Well, he told me he was raised in an orphanage, and he ran away when he was 12 years old. From that time on, he's just been living from hand to mouth.
And that probably accounts for the bad company he's been keeping.
Oh, poor kid.
You do this job all right, kid, and I'll cut you in the same as the rest of the boys.
Hey, that's what I'd call shooting.
Do you always stand this close to your target?
Well, I'm nearsighted.
Come on back here. Can you still see the target?
Yeah, I can see it.
Then you're not nearsighted. You're just not sure of yourself.
What do you mean?
You're thinking too much. Once you get the feel of your gun, you let it do the work, like this.
Golly! Hey, that's the fastest draw I ever saw. Will you show me how to do it, Mr. Rogers?
It's not hard. I just want to draw and never stop to think about it. If I did, I'd never get the gun out. See if you can outdraw me.
You mean you want me to draw on you?
Sure. Go ahead. You're still thinking. You're saying to yourself, do I or don't I want to shoot him? Once you've made up your mind, maybe you can outdraw me.
Jerry. Colt's pretty sore about Fred. He thinks it was your fault.
Rogers made me take him to the hideout. I tried to steer him wrong, but you guys left a wide open trail.
You should have plugged him before he got there.
I tried to, but Brady jumped me and I lost my gun.
Keep your voice down.
Besides, Colt told me to wait till I was dead certain, and I ain't had the chance. Not one single chance.
Well, Colt's giving you until the night. And if you ain't plugged Rogers by then, he'll take it you've double-crossed him. And Colt don't favor people who double-cross him.
Wayne, wait!
You looking for someone, stranger?
Fine, Miss Dale.
Oh, I'll bet you can hit a gopher's eye tooth at 60 yards.
Hey, that was close. Come on, Pat.
That's enough, Bullet. Come here.
Who is he, Roy?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the Edgar gang. How about it, Jerry?
Well, I'm not sure. I didn't get a real good look at either of them.
Well, it doesn't matter. The sheriff will make him talk. Come on, you.
Glad you got that new gun, Jerry, because that guy was just laying for you. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the whole Edgar gang didn't have us surrounded right now. What am I saying? Hey, Roy, wait for me!
All clear, Lou?
Yeah, just as peaceful as a cemetery. That's the dough?
That's it. This job is easy. I feel ashamed to take it.
How much did you get?
Maybe I should sit down and count it for you, stupid.
Let's get going. Hey, Roger. He's got Wayne.
I'll lay a couple of shots in next to the building. Maybe you can make a getaway.
Well, Roy, we got two of the Edgar gang.
Hey, Roy, they're getting away! Hurry up, Roy! What am I doing here all by myself? Oh, Roy!
Get in.
Say, Pat, tell me some more about that holdup.
Oh, you should have seen me chasing them outlaws. Nellybelle are roaring right at their heels, and my six gun is spitting lead hot. Bang, bang, bang!
Did they Did they really get away with 50 grand?
Which is a lot of money.
Yeah, you're telling me. 1/4 of that'd be more than 12,000.
Of course, I could have rounded up that gang right then and there, but I figured I better go back and help Roy.
Hey, I forgot to tell you, Pat. Dale wanted you to get some wood for the fireplace.
What nobody wants to do around here is shoved on me. Hi, Roy.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Jerry. Did Pat tell you about the holdup?
Yeah.
I bet Edgar's hopping mad, not only getting 50,000.
Only?
He'll need that and more just to bribe the people who hide and feed him. If he didn't, they'd turn him in for the reward. I'd certainly hate to spend my life knowing I was just about as popular as a rattler. Scared to turn my back on anyone for fear they'd plug me from behind. All right, go ahead and shoot me. That's what you're here for, isn't it?
Out here all day and wait for that kid to come out.
Don't worry, Ben. He'll be by. Here he comes now. Get down there before Rogers grabs him and he squeals his head off.
Hey, look out!
Hurt bad, Jerry?
It's my leg. You were right, Mr. Rogers. I was going to kill you. Colt gave me till tonight to kill you.
I knew he'd sent you. See if you can move your foot. Well, at least it isn't broken. Probably a bad sprain. Let me help you up.
But how did you know Colt sent me?
Because you're the worst liar in the world. Here, now, take it easy.
Well, then why didn't you turn me in?
Maybe I saw more in you than Colt did. Take it easy. Another step or two and we'll have you on your horse.
My guy, ain't you? Walked right into my little trap. Now we'll deliver him to Colt COD for my cut of that 50 grand.
The kid's catching on fast. Get his gun.
Thinking, Jerry, but it didn't do that leg of yours any good.
It won't do either one of you any good. You're not through it, kid.
You were right, Mr. Rogers. That time I wanted to draw.
Think you can make it okay?
Yes, sir.
Gee, I'm glad to see you feeling better, Jerry.
Thanks a lot, Dale. Sure, I'm grateful to you, Mr. Rogers, for taking such a chance with me.
The only way to bring out a man's good side is to have faith in him, Jerry. Hey, Pat, what are you up to?
Oh, I'm practicing on my reverse draw.
Well, you better be careful. You might shoot someone.
Who, me? Not me. You're looking at the most deadliest draw that ever drawn a draw. When I draw on the make, stay drawn. Look. Oh, on the other ground. Come back. Come back.
Oh, Pat.
I think Pat's in for a long run.
Yeah.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Happy trails to you.